growing up in the church and as a preacher's son, and being exposed to the Bible throughout my life, both Sunday morning, Sunday evening, Wednesday night, and then a variety of extracurricular, if you will, activities and things that also hammer all those Bible-based messages home. At some point, your wires kind of get crossed because you have so many different messages to sort of think about when it comes to what your faith is, what it means to be a Christian. There are 8 million different things you could talk about, whether you're dealing with, the loss of a loved one or a pandemic or something like a looming threat like climate change, or it's something that's, something's happened in your community or your family. I feel like you're less likely to remember and to be able to sort through that hodgepodge of things and all those answers, all those little threads that you've kind of, picked up over the years, and it's hard to kind of find one that actually means something because there's so many different things you could pull from. So I sort of had to, at some point, I just really sort of, I heard someone talk about how really it can all be distilled down to love God and love your neighbor. And that's kind of what Jesus did. And I thought, okay, that's probably going to be a safe bet for thinking about, especially whenever you're distracted by life and life is crazy and you're anxious and you're tired. For me, it comes down to those two things of loving God and loving neighbor, simply because that's what I can wrap my head around probably the most easily. And it seems to have the most significance for me on a daily basis, because, I find myself, whether it's at home or, somewhere else, if I'm in a situation with a human being, trying to talk about something, or I've gotten frustrated with my wife or my daughter or somebody else in my extended family, or, somebody I'm working with or whatever, those are pretty, it's pretty easy to think and say, am I loving this person the way that Jesus would love this person? And oftentimes it's, no, I'm not. So what do I need to do? So I have to, I retrace that to like think about what Jesus would do in those instances. But I just found that I keep coming back to those two things, and the other stuff, I'm not saying it's not significant, but those two things are my little two, life preservers that I cling to when I'm not able to think of other things. They seem to be the most buoyant things, the most relevant things to keep in mind and to hang on to. If God expects us to read the Bible and experience Him in some way through it, and we get frustrated along the way, I suppose He's not surprised by that, given the content of the Bible in various places.
Yeah.
Story of those people experiencing Him and living either walking toward Him and with Him, or running away from Him, literally in the case of Jonah. And I like that about the Bible, because it's I like how human all that is, and how relatable all that stuff is when you see people in the Bible who just don't get it, or who like when Abraham and Sarah, when they find out they're going to have a child, or when Sarah says, like, when she laughs.
She's snickers.
And God says, why did you laugh? This prospect of having a child in your old age. Is like, oh, I didn't laugh. Well, yes, you did. Yes, you did laugh. I love those passages. Like, I feel like a concise version of the Bible just would not have that character.
Oh, yeah.
By those passages where you just read it and you kind of chuckle to yourself, because it could have easily been you laughing at that idea because it's ridiculous. This person who is well beyond their childbearing years having a child. Like, that God is patient when it looks like He's wrathful is a strange thing, and it requires that you read with the long view in mind, and not
right exactly
not pick and choose, cherry pick passages